If you get a client who is negative, you have to be so self-aware of the impact that has upon you and then the next client. Because if you get someone this morning who calls up who's a bit negative and a bit like of an arse, for want of a better word, or not even an arse, just came across as one, two totally different things. Came across as, well, she sounded miserable. That might just be the way she is. And then when she arrives in here in person, she could be the one, you know, most wonderful person on earth. And we've had that where clients have booked appointments and everyone's like, Vicky said it to me many times, well, he in person was completely different to what he or she was on the phone. Well, why? Yeah. What you're doing is you're making a snap judgment on somebody without understanding their situation, which is nervous, frightened, skeptical. That's the default mode of most people today walking around this world. They're about to buy a grudge purchase that they don't want. They've been forced to buy because they fell over, crashed a car, somebody's done something to them, they've been lazy and done whatever and they've hurt their back. Like, they do not want to be speaking to us, and they do not want to be giving us money, and they do not want to be giving us 3 hours of their time every week. So forgive them if they're not overly like happy to be calling you. But again, that's the skill. So you can do one of two things: take it personally and go, oh, this guy's just a miserable whatever, this guy is arrogant. This guy isn't, he's none of that. He does not want to be in this situation, and if we clash with him, he'll stay that way. If we prejudge him, he'll stay that way. If we give him every opportunity to be who he probably would love to be and grow in this environment where we're going to be nice and friendly and happy and encourage him to, you know, do whatever, you might just see him change. He can go and be whoever else he wants to be with somebody else he's doing business with, but then when he comes back in here, he likes coming here because he's in a happy place. He feels right. He hasn't got a clue any of this is going on, but it is. So that's, again, something to factor in. You're dealing with people at the beginning of a relationship who are not wanting to be here, secondly, in pain, thirdly, frustrated because they have to do this and they don't want to. There's nothing worse than having to pay for your health. It's the most horrible thing, isn't it? Like, even going to the dentist, it just pisses you off. You'd rather give 500 quid to the car mechanic than the dentist, because the car gets you to like the town, drops your kids off, like stuff that you actually want to do. This tooth that you've took for granted for like 35 years, you now have to pay £500 for. It's the most, you just didn't ever factor that in, did you? Ever. Do any of you wake up on a morning and budget £250 for a filling? At any point in your life, do you? Never, ever. Which is why you don't want to make the call. Do you know you've got to pay £500 for an MOT or a car service? Correct. Which is why it's not as painful when it comes along. Even if the bill's 1,000 quid, it's like, well, I didn't really want to pay it, but I'm going to have to, because I get pleasure from the car. It makes my life easier. The tooth thing, because we live with it every single day, and or back pain or knee pain, nobody's conditioned us to do it, which is why they're not always overly happy on the phone. So you can judge them or you can understand them. It's up to you. You'll have a nicer time if you understand them and you see where they're coming from and you get underneath them with everything, from the negative guy to the abrupt guy on the phone to somebody who's like, well, that guy's a bit whatever. It's not. It's nothing to do with you, and it's nothing to do with like the situation. It is the situation. Is the thing. They're in a situation that they don't want to be in. They're confused by. There's no guarantee at the end of it. That's what it is. And they also expect you. This is the real reason why they start negative. They also expect you to be like the last medical person that they spoke to in Chadwick House or some other crappy doctor's surgery where it's nothing but a number. Mr. Gough, yes, we'll see you at 9:40. Like, press the buzzer when you arrive. If you're lucky, the doctor will look at you. He will probably keep his head down, stare at his desk, write you a script, and you'll walk out.